for the Atlanta Falcons, it has been an up and down season, and heading into Sunday morning in Germany, they were going up against the Colts with a chance to save their season, and they didn't do it. Losing the game, letting up 250 rushing yards to Johnathan Taylor, and Penix having a, flaccid performance. They just did not get the job done, losing in overtime 31-25. And now it is official. They are eliminated, in my opinion, from playoff contention. What is up, my swag surfing ATL fans and other fans in the NFL? Welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. We appreciate you guys coming through. Check us out. We got other videos up. We do them every day. Post them on our lives. We do live previews of each team, and something I'm extremely excited about, we have playlists. So with these playlists, we do every single team every single week, and let's see what we have for the Falcons. First, you got to sort by the date added, and then let's see what we got here for the Falcons. As you see, we got the Broncos, Bengals, every team in the NFL up, and let's here we are, ATL. We said that the Colts will bounce back and smack the Falcons. Not quite the case. We said the Falcons' bridge is falling down, which it was. And we said the Patriots would cook against them. They didn't really cook, but that the organization was exposed, losing to the Dolphins. So check these out. Check out our other videos as well. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing. We love you guys. Now back to the episode. That is right. We will load up the Tankathon starting next week with the Atlanta Falcons, but I did want to show why I think they are officially toast in the NFC. When you look at their record, they're now 3-6 in the conference, and in the NFC, I mean, really, in any conference, it's kind of a death nail. But specifically, when you look at the NFC, I mean, all these teams and the wildcard teams they'd have to overcome. Right now, the biggest issue for them, Panthers, 5-5 9 seed, 49ers, 6-4 8th seed. Just not great up there, and I just don't see them overcoming those teams, let alone getting into that 7th seed. So the best option, in my opinion, would be start the Tankathon up, and they are in this situation because they've lost 4 straight games. Look at the schedule, but I officially have them out of my personal playoff contention. Won't consider them a playoff team unless they win like 5 in a row, and we'll schedule. Maybe that can happen, but they just look toast. And even in the division, in the NFC South, which you'd think, I mean, of all the divisions, would be the one you'd have the best chance of winning. 0-2 in the division. They've already lost to the Buccaneers. They've already lost to the Panthers, and both of those teams still remain above them in the division. So for the Falcons, it's been an extremely tough season for them. Not the season that they would have liked, but I hate to say this, and I'm sorry, just a typical Falcons year that ends as they recently have in a disappointment. And you look at how we got here. I mean, that tough loss to the Bucs off that missed field goal, that kind of started off a bad trend. Losing to the Panthers week 3, 30-0 is ridiculous. And they beat the Buffalo Bills, and I think they may have kind of interpreted too much from that because they went out the next week, tried to just keep tossing the ball around, lost to the 49ers, and then that Miami loss. I think that Miami loss will look back because losing to the Patriots by 1, losing to the Colts by 5, those aren't terrible things. And again, even that Miami game, you have Kirk Cousins, but I think they just have a ton of issues that they have not solved. And I don't think it's a talent on the field thing. I think they're very talented. It's definitely coaching. So we'll see what happens going forward with that. Next up, you play the Panthers. Who knows what's going to happen with that game? The Saints, the Jets. It's not impossible that they win 3 in a row, and I have to put them back into you know what I mean, that spot. However, I think ultimately Seahawks, Bucks, Rams down the stretch. See, they're going to lose too many games, and I do think that the Panthers are going to beat them, I guess. And there's no guarantees that they beat the Jets or the Saints because they're just a very inconsistent team. They've already lost to the Dolphins, so we can't really pencil them in for any wins. And that is the current problem and situation with the Falcons. All right, guys, and our next segment, we love it. It is called Comment of the Week. We love hearing from you guys, and we will shout you out. However, Falcons fans, wake up. I know not a lot to look forward to for the rest of the season, but no comments. So shout us out a comment. Tell us what you like, dislike, and we will get back to you guys. And if it's good enough, it will make Comment of the Week. Now with the Falcons, I just think, unfortunately, this game was just kind of a culmination of what's been happening with them the entire season. And I know we say that they're a weird team. However, a couple of things have remained consistent with this team. 3 things I would say are really consistent with this team. Their amazing pass defense, which again was amazing yet again this week against the Colts. You saw whenever Danny Dimes tried to throw, forced fumble, he fumbled it 3 times. He threw a pick as well right before half. They couldn't get in any rhythm, and they were playing the number 1 offense in the league points per game wise with 32 points a game. And passing wise, they couldn't do anything. So a great job from that passing defense. The second best passing offense wise per game. But the Falcons just had him in a box, had him bagged. What I think, though, the bigger problem has been is their run defense. As good as their pass defense is, their running defense is that bad. And we saw it with the Dolphins, where the Dolphins ran for about like 180 on them. Teams have been able, the 49ers, who haven't really run great this year, and even though they have McCaffrey, they're not a great running team. I think they almost ran for 200 yards with McCaffrey and Robinson. So just not ideal, not what you want to see. In this game, it just all was so much worse. I mean, Johnathan Taylor, 250 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Yes, Taylor's a great player, but I mean, come on, guys. Like, we got to do something on that end. And the Falcons' defense, just all season, it's been a huge problem for them. This game was no different. And it's funny because around the third quarter, the Colts tried to remain balanced. They actually tried to be a little pass heavy to me, and they would move down the field. But then the Falcons' defense eventually would get a sack. The pass rushers would scream. Somebody would make a play. I think 1 4th down, they had a deflection out there. They went for a 4th and 2, and then one of the corners, it wasn't Terrell, but it was the other guy. But he made a deflection on a great play on the outside. I think it was Alford. Yeah, I think it was D. Alford. And around the third quarter, right after the halftime debacle where the Colts were going to get points I don't think they were going to get points, but they took a sack at 2nd and 1 or around the 45. They didn't call a timeout with the clock running and then threw a pick. They came out and they were like, all right. I think they even still tried to throw the ball, and then they had the fumble on the screen pass from Daniel Jones where, I mean, defensively, they're just all over every pass. So they're just like, all right, well, let's just do what they should have been doing the whole game against the Falcons team and run the ball. And Johnathan Taylor, I mean, my goodness, man. You know, he had that one run where he stopped in the middle of the line and then just cuts it to the left for 80 yards. An incredible run, insane, to do like the Le'Veon Bell, just to like slow play it, but then be able to take it 80 is insane. And Johnathan Taylor, again, he's an MVP candidate, he's a great player, but like, come on, man. I mean, it's hard to win games when you can't stop the run at all. They are now 23rd in stopping the run throughout the season, allowing 124 a game. So definitely struggling, obviously, on that end, and that's one of the reasons their season's over. I think another reason, I mean, just Penix, dude. He just isn't – he wasn't good enough again. And he hasn't been good enough really throughout this season. Like, even when you talk about some of his best games, they're all losses, and he's inaccurate in them. I think the Patriots game, one of his better games, he missed 15 passes. And this game, just watching him start to finish, he just wild throws, high, low, third downs, incomplete. And he could not read a 3rd and long blitz. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Not much to read. They're bringing them. Lou was bringing the heat all game, and there was just like no adjustment to it. Now they went out, they got Sauce, and Sauce actually almost got a pick. But defensively, the Colts are 26th in points and yards allowed per game, and they don't have Charvarius Ward. There was stuff open all over the field, and he just misses some easy stuff. Like you get little out routes that are huge on second down, for example. He just misses a wild out route that would have got you 5 yards. Now you're in 3rd and long, and he can't read the blitz. He can't get away from the blitz. And they had, I don't remember if they even had a 3rd down conversion in this game. Let me look it up, because they were so bad on 3rd down because he's missing the easy short stuff, right? And then when you get in the 3rd and long situation, now he's got to make a read and make a tougher play, and he just wasn't able to do it. So Penix's like inconsistencies, and then we didn't even talk about the play that really changed the game to me, where they of course blitz him. Of course it's 3rd and long, and they blitz him, and he's got his back turned, looking for an option, supposed to throw it quick, doesn't, fumbles it, and that fumble ended up leading to 7 Colts points. And again, that's one of the difference. But man, I was trying to be nice. I really was before I officially saw the numbers, because I haven't looked at the numbers yet. But I thought Penix struggled. He was even worse than I remember, and he was pretty bad. 12 for 28, 177, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 3 times, no interceptions. He had that fumble that he lost. Yikes, not great. And again, you want to talk about the myriad of problems. They don't run the ball enough. Even though this game they ran it 29 times, they threw it 28. Penix didn't even throw that much. The running game went crazy, and they started doing it down the stretch, actually. They did it to kind of salt the game away. Algier, 57 rushing yards. Bijan, 84. And Algier, 2 touchdowns. But, I mean, yeah, it's just he tries to throw every pass like it's 100 miles per hour, rather than being good on the simple stuff. And guys, I appreciate you guys listening. I hope that I'm doing a pretty good job at this stuff, but I gotta say I think I'm getting better and better, because yeah, they were 0 for 8 on 3rd downs. It felt like it watching it. They mentioned it, and they mentioned how neither team, they're doing a good job defensively stopping 3rd downs. So when they said it toward the middle of the game, they're like, neither team has gotten a 3rd down. I'm like, makes sense. These quarterbacks aren't reading any of these blitzes that these defensive coordinators, Lou and Raheem Morris, are clearly just going all out and sending. They're like, all right, we finally got the 3rd down. We need to get off the field. We're not playing conservative. We're going to go out, blitz them. And if they get a big play, they get a play. And neither one of these 2 teams were able to do it. Very, very, just got to be very impressive stuff out there. From the Colts, and very unimpressive stuff from the Falcons. Just it was just the same thing over and over. And there's a play up 17-16, 3rd and 7. You still have the lead. You have you want control of the game. He just misses a wide open pass. And so we're now entering. When you look at them going forward, it's now been 2 years. Penix he's not accurate enough. He completes 61% of his passes throughout the season. League average is around 65, and it's just every game. He just consistently, especially for someone who was known as being an accurate passer in college, the ball just sails on him. It's, again, too much velocity. He's throwing 100-mile-per-hour fastballs every play. Yikes. And then we even get down to the coaching. Like Raheem Morris, you win the toss. What are you doing taking the ball in overtime? When defensively, yes, you let up a big run, but defensively you've been playing really good. And just given the overtime rules, now in the regular season, for those who don't know, each team gets the ball first. Whether you score a touchdown, field goal, whatever. Each team gets the ball, not first, but each team gets the ball once. So you kick it, you are guaranteed a possession, and then you could go for that 4th down and 12 as opposed to punting it, which a punt in overtime, never really what you want to see. Makes your chances of winning, I'd say, almost impossible. And so taking the ball there, going out when the offense had sputtered, and then calling passes, it's just not the move. the whole, we mentioned it a couple of videos ago, the whole organization kind of got, I think with the Kirk Cousins thing, they really got punched in the mouth because you paid Kirk. The idea is to have two quarterbacks, right, who can be kind of sustainable. Well, Kirk loses you a game, and then Penix comes back, and he continues to lose you games. So the old adage is you have two quarterbacks, you have none, and they've spent too many resources. Again, 8th overall pick, too much money with the Kirk Cousins move to not have any sustainable quarterback play through games. We're not talking about like a one-game blip. This is like game in, game out. I missed 15 passes last week. He didn't have a turnover, but like if he hits, and guys are open. Like Drake London is a dog. Now Kyle Pitts had a bad drop earlier, but Mooney came back. He was wide open throughout the game. Just passes sailed over his head. There was one in overtime, big second and long, and he's just wide open, and Penix just had no shot. And again, only hitting 12 passes. It's like, bro, what are we doing here? And you got to think, like, going forward as we enter Tankathon, my gosh, I hate to say this, but 2 years, what has Penix shown you? So year 3 of this Raheem Morris, if we make it there, I assume Raheem's going to get another year, but it's sketchy, and they're not doing a great job. But they have things to build on. That defense is young, athletic. They play pass defense. They can fix the run defense. But the biggest question for the Falcons now, down the stretch, what we're going to be all looking for, is Michael Penix the guy for this team? And is he going to lead this team where they want to go, at least to the playoffs? This year, another season, he doesn't do it. And the question is, year 3, will he get another chance, or are they going to be back in the market for a quarterback? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.